Well, it's time for a good old rewind. Get it. It's time to celebrate weekly rewind. It's time to celebrate this time. Yeah, so this story here is weird but intriguing at the same time, so we had to do a two-part to this one. So here's the ladies doll part one. And this story actually literally just came to me one day when I was out eating. I saw a lady a couple of tables down with a big Dalmatian dog, and I was thinking, how did they let her in here with a dog like that? It took me a few minutes to realize, and much to my surprise, that was actually a guy dressed like a dog. And I have to say, at least at the time, women hanging out with guys that's dressed like dogs, that was kind of like a new thing to me. So of course it was time to go do a little research. The first guy I came across when I was doing my research was actually a Japanese billionaire, but he was dressed like a collie or like a German Shepherd or something. Not my guy. I'm looking for a Dalmatian. And so like I said, this is actually a thing, so it's way more of these guys than you would actually think. And that's when I came across Tom something, the Dalmatian guy. Yeah, but we'll just go by the first name Tom, because we like to use the first name in the short story. And if you want to check him out, it'd be real easy to check out, because he does a lot of interviews and be going on a lot of talk shows and stuff like that. But unlike a lot of people, to me, the guy dressing like a dog isn't really the interesting part. Now, see, the extremely interesting part to me was the lady in the whole thing. I mean, do you know how smooth his talk game have to be to keep a female around for the whole dog dressing up thing? And I noticed she wasn't just standing around looking pretty either. She would help him get dressed in his Dalmatian doggy suit, and it was latex, so he'd have to put like baby powder underneath it. And of course, being a dog, you can't expect a man to drive, right? So of course she's the automatic chauffeur, taking him around to all the places he got to go to. And while she's on chauffeur duty, the guy be in back with his head out the window barking like a dog, which is really nice for him, but he can drive for himself, because before he got somebody to drive around for him, that's exactly what he did. He drove himself around. I don't doubt having a live-in chauffeur is nice, so I can't blame Buddy on that one. So the only thing I can say about the chauffeur service part is play on, player. Staying in the doggy role playing, she would also take him to the dog park. I saw in one video where a lady was like, hey, can I pet your dog? And she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And other humans were interacting with him. So at least his owner is real friendly with her human dog. You know how some people be like, oh, don't touch my dog, no. Which got me to thinking of, where did he find this woman? She just sticking around for all his doggy role playing. But at last, not every day can be a fun day at the doggy park. And like they say, every dog has his day, so eventually he'll come across some dogs that's not too friendly at the dog park. So it's on one of those days when some dogs started getting too rough for him and they started biting him. He had to break out of character, then he had to run for it. And not even that would make this guy give up on role playing. And through all that, his sweet lady still stuck by his side. Oh, but it's a big plot twist to the story, and you'll have to check it out on the Ladies Dog Part 2, so look out for the Ladies Dog Part 2. The Ladies Dog Part 2. Well, people have been asking for it, and here we go with the conclusion of the guy that liked to do the doggy role play. And I think I got his mindset figured out on this. He probably was thinking, well, if you can't be a ladies man, you can be the ladies dog. Now for a quick recap to back to where we was. Doggy man was having it his way with a nice loving woman that was there for him no matter what. But at last, nothing could last forever. And I think the beginning of the fall off is when he ran into those dogs at that dog park that time and had a bad experience. But everything was changing gradually and slowly nonetheless, until one particular evening when things just seemed to go left for his girlfriend Sarah. It seemed like a normal day to Doggy Man. He did his regular routine that he usually do, barking at the mailman, playing with his chew toys, and then after that, he'd mostly be insistently nudging Sarah's hand for head scratches. So while he thought everything was going all sweet, Sarah started thinking. You see, while the role play initially seemed like a quirky, harmless outlet for Doggy Guy, the novelty had long since curdled into a tedious chore for Sarah. You see, secretly she was getting tired of having to clean up the sofa from all the fur and stuff. Then she got to explain to her friends while her boyfriend was actually taking a nap in the doggy crate. And that particular topic specifically always was a big argument with her friends. Her friends would be like, that's a grown man in a doggy crate. Now make that make sense. And the crazy part about it is that after all that, that wasn't her breaking point. Her real breaking point was when she started thinking back to her sister's wedding. The wedding Doggy Guy didn't even attend, and she could see if he had a good reason that he didn't want to go. But he refused and said the only way he would attend if he could wear his leash and stay under the table like a good doggy. But now, remembering that and watching him gnaw on the rubber bone while she ate dinner alone, she realized she missed human conversation, and she had a need for a partner who didn't require a flea collar. And it was at that moment, when she was looking down at Doggy Guy playing with his doggy bowl, she decided it was time to find somebody that could walk around on two legs. But she knew Doggy Guy, and she knew he'd be be devastated in his feelings. So she decided, you know, I got to ease into telling him this. I just can't tell him outright. So she devised a plan and said, hey, I got a friend coming over tomorrow from work. Is that okay with you? And he was like, yeah, cool. You know, just the regular stuff. Just, you know, as long as you don't bother my role playing, everything's cool. Then on the following day, when Sarah was hanging out with her so-called work friend, her and her friend was at the table enjoying dinner, and it seemed like she was making some comments that was borderline mean towards Doggy Guy. When her dinner guest asked about Doggy Guy, she was like, oh, never mind that idiot. That's just my weirdo roommate. He likes to dress like a dog. And since he didn't break up with her after that, the next guy she brought over, she was like, yeah, this not a work friend. I don't even know where he work at. This a date. It's basically over with us. And that's the end of the story. Too bad it had to end sadly for him like that, but you know, Doggy Guy, I think he's a good guy. He just got to find a good doggy lady, man. There's somebody out there for everybody. Oh man, I tell you something, that Canadian mix something hit different. It makes it really hard for a fella trying to do a fast food derangement video over on the Canada side. I don't know, but it's like they don't like to go and fight at their fast food places like in America, because you go inside the fast food place and everybody's calm and all relaxed and polite. I'm like, wow. And it's almost like it has to be some different ingredients inside of the food. And so with a little quick research, I saw that, yeah, they do got stricter regulations over there. And that's why I wasn't seeing a lot of plus size Canadians in the mix something either. So if you're visiting Canada and you're thinking, hey, this tastes different, then no, it's not just in your mind, it's actually in the ingredient. You see, the reason it actually tastes fresh is because that's what real cheese tastes like, and that's what real meat tastes like. And I'm not sure on this one, but I think it's the lack of those MK Ultra chemicals not being in that food that makes the people way more relaxed too. I mean, because on the US side, depending on where you at, it's going to be some kind of dinner in the show. It's a good place for our school kids to go to learn to fight. After working there for a little while, they'd be ready for the military. And I hate to sound like a commercial for a Canadian Mick restaurant, but man, that place was clean. It's like, what happened to the dirty tables and the nasty floor? Instead, it's the type of cleanliness that's from another reality in the space-time continuum. But either way, nothing beats being back stateside and eating one of these good old MK Ultra burgers, am I right?